All right, what's up, everybody? This is Miles with the Unfiltered Pineapple
There
Podcast
we
with
go. There we
Dean
go.
and Ari. Hey, I got it this time. All
Yeah.
right, so hey, just another get together with a couple of guys,
Get
and
together.
I
We're not like
see it
we're
is
not.
chilling.
Yeah, I don't see you right now. It's
Honestly,
not a get
I hear your
together.
voice. I hear your voice. We're here in spirit. All right, but hey, we're here talking about honestly. What's the topic again, Dean?
Uh, Today we're gonna be doing some hot takes slash hills to die on. So this was inspired from another podcast that I incidentally listened to called Distractible with
Hmm.
Markiplier, Bob, and Wade. But I thought it was a great topic in general of just hills to die on, things that you believe that other people are wrong about and should be done that way. Like,
Like candy corn.
yeah, candy corn. They're like candy corn's the best
Should be
candy,
banned.
or it's not. And it could be a small hill or it
Candy
could be a
corn's
massive hill.
disgusting.
It just
Yeah.
everyone's got something. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
no,
has a
but
hill to die on.
yeah, dill pickles is another one. Stop.
Ugh.
you don't like
Pickles
you
in
don't, You don't
general.
like pickles?
No, I don't like pickles.
What?
I like sweet pickles. I don't just the vinegary pickles. I'm just like, you know what? Let me get something that's different.
Hmm.
But hey, I'm not gonna die on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't like pickles. I ain't trying to lose my life
So,
over it.
so like, what would be like the biggest like
Pickle
hill
you've
that you
ever
would
put in
die
your
on?
mouth?
Wait a minute.
Oh, hold on a second. That's not where I was going. No.
Is that what type of hill is that? That's an interesting hill.
That's just the tip of the hill. That's the peak.
I
Damn.
bet it is.
Anyways,
Yeah. So what's the
Oh,
what's a hot take for y'all? Like,
on the topic of
I
pickles,
don't
really
know.
quick. I don't like pickles on burgers. It's fine on the side, but okay, hold on. It depends. I don't want a whole
I
ass
don't be
pickle on
honest
the
with you.
side. I don't like wedges. I don't like wedged pickles. I hate
I
when
don't
they
be
cut
honest
it
with you.
into wedges.
Have you ever had a sandwich that had a pickle on it and you were like, this pickle ruined the sandwich?
It ruins a sandwich.
See, there's some people that are literally this pickle. If I bite into it and I taste this little slither of a pickle, it ruins the whole sandwich for me.
I mean, some people
My
like
thing
that
is,
with
there's no
tomatoes
I just
and
take it
tomato.
out.
and
I
olives and
just be
stuff.
like, listen, how does your taste buds taste that one? First of all, if you tasting a pickle, that means you missed the bun, the meat, the
The
cheese,
cheese.
the and the other bun. How does your taste bud get
Condiments.
all the way and the condiment? How does your taste bud get just to the pickle? That's my question. I don't know anybody that can answer that question for me. I'm waiting to meet that person.
I'm kind of
Hmm.
like that. I can taste celery in anything almost. And I
Yeah.
hate the
Okay,
taste. I
that
hate the
makes
taste
sense.
of celery. Absolutely hate it.
Pickle is a strong taste, though.
It is because
Yeah.
it's soaked. It's vinegar soaked. So,
Yeah.
No, I think I just
So,
answered my
like, I can
question.
see why. And then the texture itself is kind of just nasty.
but that's if you have a strong juicy pickle slice or something. If it's like the cheaply cut mundane stuff like a Whopper or no, I don't think it's in a Whopper, but a fast food burger or something, you may not even taste it
Yeah.
if it's there. Like it may
No, I
just.
taste it. And I taste the texture, too. It's just, like, slimy almost.
I like
Oh, see,
pickles. I
I
like a
just
good
answered my
crunchy
question.
pickle. I like a good crunchy
It
pickle.
makes sense. It makes sense now because it's just the simple thing is I probably just don't choose my food that well. That's probably what it is. I
Just
probably just go ahead and just
unhinge that
I,
jaw and
oh,
You
slide
just,
it
like,
down.
swallow a freaking burger.
I just swallow it. Just be like, yep, it's a burger.
You
Gone.
put it in. Yeah, you take a bite of your burger. You bite it once just to smush it, and then you just
Yeah, just
down the throat.
next bite. Yep,
Next
I'm
bite.
only here for the calories.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well,
But hills to die on. I'm still
hills
trying to
to
figure out.
die on. I'll die on Mount Everest. Sorry, I had to throw
I
that.
would.
Ari, you had a particular one in mind that you wanted to start it off with.
Yeah, so I think this is perfect because like, Miles is in the military and I feel like people who claim to have PTSD and who aren't in the military don't actually have PTSD.
Oh, is that a hill you want to die on, or is that a hill that you want to defend?
I feel like it's a hill I want to die on. Like,
Okay.
putting aside like severe like trauma, like seeing, someone getting murdered, for instance, I feel like, a lot of people nowadays just like, um, try to equate themselves as having like PTSD, which is like a severe disease, severe like mental mental thing. And I don't think, people really understand like the consequences of having actual PTSD.
So what if you're just like you're saying? Say it again. I want to hear you word for word.
Yeah,
I
because
want to
that's
hear
that's a
I want to hear what your claim is word for word
that's a
before I
good
start
hill.
countering it.
That's a very specific hill. I like that.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, like so my thing is like some people
No,
like
no, no. Just say it.
who
Say it in one sentence. Summarize it really quick. What's the hill?
peop okay, so people who equate like small like events
I got
as
PTSD because they ran out of Starbucks.
They ran out of
yeah,
toilet
like
paper.
that's
Okay.
I hate that. Like that's stupid and it really devalues like what it means to have PTSD for someone who really does have
Okay,
PTSD.
okay. That's a little different than what I think you said the first time. Where you said like only military. Oh no, you said because Miles has experience with military, that kind of stuff. Okay, okay, yeah. So
Not
yeah, that could just be
necessarily that
normal
Miles has
stress or trauma.
PTSD.
Yeah, that could just be normal
I'll be
stress or
like,
trauma.
out here. Oh,
But
get down.
people can get PTSD from like kidnappings or from
Yeah.
traumatic events like that. It's not exclusive to war and or military stuff.
I think it's just overused
I
and
I would agree with the
100%.
overuse thing, but that's the same.
100%.
That falls under the same concept as like people saying, "Oh, my
Mm.
OCD is kicking in" when they have like a little pet peeve or personality trait where they're like, "Oh, I got to make sure things
Yeah.
are organized this
I'm
way."
triggered.
I'll give you an example. Like,
Triggered.
I was having a conversation with someone, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't go to the dentist. I have PTSD from that." I'm just like, "It's
What?
just a dentist. Like, you're
Oh.
the guy isn't like doing like major on surgery. Like, the guy's just checking your teeth, and just like cleaning you.
It's,
And
it's like I
I
got
mean,
PTSD from going to the dentist because I saw Bad Boss and I don't want somebody messing with my body while I'm like, what? Like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
it's
I,
ridiculous. Yeah.
it is 100% is ridiculous, but I think that's more of a misunderstanding of a diagnosis
Hmm.
that we
But
still
but
have
that's
not
a
talked
major
about.
thing because like if they're misunderstanding that they definitely don't understand like what it is like, and
Right.
it really devalues like the people that do have that uh
True.
condition.
Now, with that same logic, would you say the people that claim domestic violence
Is not traumatic. Or like
It is
animals can
traumatic.
have PTSD also from abusive owners of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So if someone says, "Oh, I'm a domestic violence victim," wink, wink.
What's with the wink
Based on
wink?
Are you trying to suggest something about yourself, Miles? Like
no, I'm
I
just
can't you can't,
just
visually
with
can't see me
the
wink, so
with
I'll
the
just call
with the
myself out.
world that we live in. Speaking of
Hmm.
a trial that may or may not be happening. Would you
Oh,
agree? Would you say that logic that's because it's not on the same level of this, do we still justify it?
I think there's like different levels,
One hundred
and
percent.
yeah. And I just feel like even at the most basic level, I feel as though, it's not like something that you could even compare to. Um just going back to that dentist thing is like that's not anything in comparison to what real like, like domestic violence is like a major thing that like, it is a PTSD like,
Yeah,
Okay,
and I think that's okay.
so
Okay. Mm.
I will agree with the very nuanced premise of that it is overused and or not fully understood by the general populace that is using the terminology, or kind of like the OCD comment I made before. But some people can be traumatized by like, the dentist if they had a tooth accidentally torn out or something when they were a kid and they just don't understand what's going on. Like if you already have a fear of needles and now something happened, that can make sense. That can be actual trauma. I think it
I
comes
I
down.
think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think just more education in general for society at large to use proper terminology or describe things, I think would prevent that, so that people are not saying they have PTSD about something, but they're just like, yeah, I don't even know what the correct terminology would be, but I had a traumatizing incident or a very stressful experience about it. Like when I was in a car accident in the past where a friend was driving, and I almost got out of the car, but I didn't. And then someone came at the wreck site after like 10 minutes. I almost got out, and I almost got out the car, but I didn't. And I stayed in, and like 5 seconds later, or 10 seconds later, a car going 80 miles per hour just crashed into the door I was sitting next to, and I was like, oh. And so like for a year and a half or 2 years after that, I was afraid of any car I was in the passenger seat for a little bit. I sat in the passenger seat all the time, but I was just like, I don't trust what's going on around me because I don't have control. And it's the same with Matt after his accident, where he didn't let anyone drive him for 3 years afterwards because someone else was driving and they flipped the car.
So what I think is,
I don't know if that's
more on
PTSD specifically, but there is definitely some trauma, and I'm not sure what the terminology is, where it's like it takes some time to recover from it or get used to like reality.
So but you're willing to die on this, R. You're willing to die on this.
So you're willing to die that it's overused as a term.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And honestly, I can't.
I feel like it's a medical diagnosis at that, like, and people who give themselves medical diagnoses is like stupid,
Yeah, well, that's the hill to die on is self-diagnosis. That's the
okay. Now the hill to die on is self-diagnosis. Yeah, I'll down that one.
I mean, according to Google, I've had cancer 16 times now.
Like you ain't been to the doctor twice this last 5 years.
Yeah,
like how in the world you get? That's something I'll die because first of all. See, I'm trying not to get hot because this one I can't get hot off.
No, it's a hot take, man. Get hot, get heated.
But the big thing is a lot of these people that say, "Oh, I have this. That's why I need a service animal."
OCD. Oh my God,
I'm like OCD and I need a service animal that you just put a vest on this dog. First of all, I'm willing to die on that. You should have some sort of verification other than just putting a vest on a dog and say, "This is my
should have verification
because I have this."
Emotional support animals aren't service animals. I die with you.
Yeah, that's something I'm willing to die on that one because we need to make something to where it's like this is the form. This was signed by the governor and the president of the United States that this dog's allowed in certain. Yes, that's something, but we can't do it because of what? HIPAA violations and because of some type of act that says that, hey, you're not supposed to ask me about my support animal because that means that I have to reveal reveal it so I don't feel uncomfortable with this damn dog this snake could be a support animal. That right there is like, what training does this dog have that my dog in my backyard is tied up to a damn tree? I don't have a dog that's tied to a tree, everybody. Just FYI. But disclaimer. Disclaimer, exactly. That my dog can't do. Because my dog in that backyard will be glad to be walking up at McDonald's right now. That's
your theoretical dog.
My theoretical dog. I don't got a dog. I used to have a fist named dog, but that's
a good story. Yeah, well, I think service animals actually require paperwork to go into places like that or on planes and whatnot. But yeah, that is definitely different from an emotional support animal. But I don't know if you need paperwork for that stuff or for an emotional support animal. Some psychologists.
What's funny is
because service animals are supposed to help with disabilities or actual issues. Yeah, emotional support's just like this person has. That's more of a mental and emotional service.
Anxiety.
Yeah. I don't know if there's still paperwork required for that. I'm not too.
There was an actual FAA regulation that was decided upon just a couple years ago, where miniature ponies, was decided against. The FAA was like, no, they're not service animals, and then that was that caused a big ruckus, and just people were just like, no, this is not true. These are support animals. They help me with my anxiety and flying. It's just no, it's a freaking pony. Why would you take how can you take a pony anyways?
You're taking a whole ass horse on a plane.
Yeah.
And you don't give a damn about nobody's allergies. You don't give a damn about if this horse sits on this plane's carpet. Who gonna clean it up? That type of stuff that's what pisses me off the most about it because
they really
does not consider about other people because they got this diagnosis and I'll be honest with you, what the hardest thing about most of this stuff that I'm willing to down is it also hurts the people that actually has that. If it comes out that person was lying or self-diagnosed themselves to say, this is what I need, and I don't care what any other process it is. I'm just going to do it. That's the same with PTSD. That's the same with domestic violence. That's the same with most violence to any other person. That's also the same with most medical treatments that people say, I got cancer, or my child has cancer, or my child has a mental illness. I'm going to self-diagnose it. That's something that we need to actually, as a society, just say, all right, this is the rules. Everybody get along.
Yeah, I just absolutely hate it when like people self-diagnose with like mental illnesses or like OCD, for instance, or like depression. It's like, well, did you get diagnosed? Did you go to a doctor? And they're like, no, no. And then like, how do you know then? Like, you know, you could be like, I don't know.
It's kind of
you never know.
It's kind of like I've seen a lot of let's say memes and stuff online of like Tinder profiles of people that list off like 16 different medical conditions they have, and they also throw in like single parent, and then they throw in like, you know, they give like their whole life story in like a Tinder profile, and a lot of those are like self-diagnosed, like, yeah, I have this and this and this, and then you ask them about it, and it's just you'll get people share screenshots, and it's just like, yeah, no, that's just what I feel like I have.
See,
I'm not on Tinder or anything, but I've seen screenshots or people have shared stuff where it's like, look at this.
And people have confirmation bias also when it comes to that stuff. If you were to like to Google like symptoms, it's like you start to think, oh wait, I do have that symptom.
Oh yeah,
I do have that symptom.
According to Google,
my God, I have herpes.
According to Google, I died 6 years ago.
Oh wow! Oh God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I love self-diagnosing. It's like a fun game of guess who.
I'll have to look at myself up, see what year I passed away. And also, I'll probably be 83 or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's something that it's to where, for me, the people that self-diagnose themselves that haven't went to a doctor already has some type of mental situation going with them that should be diagnosed. Why do you think it's okay to self-diagnose yourself and tell the whole world this without actually going to a medical professional? What in your brain is allowing you to say this is okay?
I think it has to do something with like, you know, getting sympathy, you know, and it's just like trying to excuse themselves for certain actions. And you know, it's
that
like
falls under a different topic of what's going on with them.
Shifting responsibilities, shifting like, you know, what?
It's something they can't control, or it's something that they don't want to address or take care of. And that's not always the case, but that's kind of where that kind of falls into like what the actual underlying messaging is with that.
And I think those people should get help. I think those people 100% should get help, because
no problem with that either.
It's nothing against them. It's just, hey, this is not normal for other people to do. We can understand, not everybody's normal, but you really should get checked out. And it's not saying anything's wrong with you, but it's like for you to actually, like, and I saw this thing on Facebook to where it's like somebody was finally diagnosed with what was it called? It's something like anxiety, and they were like, "Wow, now I know how to cope with it. I've been going my whole life with thinking I was just weird or I was embarrassed of this, and this." You might be able to get answers through a diagnosis, and that's something to where we need to promote people to be like, "Yeah, let me go get checked out. Let me go talk to a therapist. Let me go get this checked out at an actual doctor."
If there's any message is like, if you think you have something, then definitely get it checked out. You know. Don't just self-diagnose.
But
what we're gonna say?
The other thing is people do like, well, where am I gonna go do that? Where am I gonna do that? Okay, cool. Some people don't have insurance. All right, but still don't self-diagnose. That's the big thing. You don't like. You can say, oh, I don't have insurance to go to a top name doctor. I don't have this to do. Okay, so just say I don't know. That's literally 3 words. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay to just not have an answer sometimes, and because when you say something, that makes it more real, whether it's true or not, because you gave substance to it or something like that. It makes it more real for you or for someone listening in. It's like, oh, well, okay, they must have these kind of issues, even if that's not exactly the case. And that can cause more problems and miscommunication down the road. Yeah. And you'll start believing it yourself too. You're like, well, I guess I really am having some dissociative identity problems or something like that. And that's not the case entirely.
I don't know what movie. Yeah, I don't know what movie it was where the girl, and I saw a little clip of it on Facebook, or it was on Twitter or something like that. But it was the girl. She went to one of the pharmacists and was like, what is this?" And she was like, "I don't know what that is." And I'm like, "Well, can you look up what pills this is?" They're like, "Oh, this is for dogs." She was like, "What would happen if you gave this to a human?" They were like, "Well, maybe they wouldn't be able to walk." And it was something that a mother was giving to their child for so many years, and they're in a wheelchair, thinking that they don't have. It's You can't diagnose others either. That's the other thing. That's the point I was trying to make. Is you shouldn't be diagnosing anybody if you don't have the training.
Yeah.
Especially
that makes total sense.
But some people do it, and going back to what Ari was saying, because I feel like we took a little trip on to the left. But
a tangent.
With with PTSD, it's like I wouldn't want to, and this is where it's like I wouldn't want to tell somebody that they don't have PTSD because of what the scale is. There is different levels of PTSD to where it's like some people, because they've been in a car accident, they got PTSD from that. But a lot of the main thing that society sees for PTSD is military members. You have people that are like, I came back from war. So you have your explanation of your PTSD is explained by something that we know for a fact is
traumatic.
The average person would not be able to see, will not ever understand what this.
It's a very intense environment that everybody knows that you are engaging with and interacting with.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like, a lot of things that are becoming more commonplace or understood in society nowadays don't quite have the same impact as. Well, war is a generational thing. Everybody knows how traumatic and violent war is, but domestic abuse and all that stuff, that's still technically relatively new in the history of like addressing it in America or developed countries. So it's still, a lot of people are coming to terms with like the specifics of it and statistics and what it looks like and things like that, because that's just newer. So, but everybody knows war is bad because all the way back into like, clubs and slingshots.
That's something that, but we really, that's a good. I'm like, now, all right, you think you could die on that? That's my other thing. I'm like,
yeah, can you die on that hill that it's overused? I wouldn't die on that hill just because of the subtext that I provided. Or I would agree that it's overused, but I'm not gonna die on that hill personally, because it's like, I think that's just a societal thing of just as a thinking of society as
would it be better a hot take?
They're just not educated enough. They're still developing in terms of learning about it. Is one giant mindset.
I think that would be a good hot take.
I'll tell you one hill I will die on is that Bologna is good, or Bologna.
Bologna. What is Bologna? Wait a minute. What?
Bologna, as some people say. It's bologna.
Bologna?
You don't know what?
I'm not gonna front. I haven't had bologna in years.
I haven't either,
but I think it's all right. Yeah,
I haven't had it either, but I like it. But there's some people we know that are like very much like, if you eat that, you're dead to me.
Now here's wild. All right, now that's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Dean, you're dead to me.
Yeah, well, some people think it tastes bad. I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. Is it the healthiest thing? Right. Hell no.
Wait a minute. All right, I need to first understand the difference between bologna and Spam. I probably have no idea.
Spam is just salt.
Spam?
Yeah.
Spam is good.
I like Spam.
Good, yeah.
I like Spam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fried Spam, fried bologna. I'm just not. From what I understand, bologna is pretty much just like regular ham. But it's like the deli meat of it, right?
It's those perfectly circular cut ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So, why would people die on that? Why would people die on that? That's crazy to me. I don't. There's not a single food on this planet that I'll be like, we need to eradicate it.
You like beets?
What about pineapple on
Yeah.
pizza?
Oh, amazing. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what anybody say. I'm willing to die that it was made and it needs to stay in our lives.
Ew.
Pineapple
Ew.
on
I'm
pizza?
willing to die on that. Pineapple on pizza needs to stay in our lives.
Yeah, I think pineapple was made on Earth solely to be put on pizza. That's the only
You guys
reason,
can die
that's the
on
only
that
reason
hill.
that's the only reason why we physically created pineapples.
That's disgusting.
You really don't like pizza?
Totally
Pineapple on.
No, sir. No, sir. Pineapple does not go on pizza.
I'm indifferent to this, so I'll hear the arguments.
It's just not made for pizza. It's a fruit. Damn it, it's a fruit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I think pineapple should go on pizza because I've had torched pineapple, and torched pineapple is amazing.
Yeah.
If you ever had torched pineapple and how that pineapple just crisps up, oh my god, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's legendary. It is, and honestly, I think the first time I had it was like in Texas Day, Brazil, and I was like, would you like a torched pineapple? I was like, a torched pineapple. I was like, what's a torched pineapple? And I took a bite into that. I was like, oh, it tastes like Skittles. It's amazing. But
the torched pineapple though is pretty good, but it does not belong on pizza.
Oh my god! All right, so if you had a torched pineapple side by side and then you had pizza, do you think? I think I couldn't look at the children. Look at the children. You can't take pineapple pizza from them. You can't do that. Oh man, that'd be. Nah, I like pineapples on pizza.
Oh, there we go. This is gonna be.
Now we'll be the worst pineapple.
This is not gonna be a good thing for me to say.
What?
Being a parent.
Okay.
Okay, so we can all agree that not everyone is qualified to be a parent.
Ooh, scandalous.
Ooh, okay.
Not like just because you can breed doesn't mean.
So what you're
should.
saying? So wait, yeah.
Some
people shouldn't be allowed to procreate.
I think everybody, at some sense, is like, yeah, these people aren't qualified to be parents to children. Whether they have a right to or not, it's a different topic. I kind of want to avoid, but not everyone can be parents.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, because they don't have the they don't have the maturity or responsibility to do something like that. Hence adoption or stuff like that.
True.
I, as a parentless individual.
Wait a minute.
No, as a childless individual who currently does not have children. I do have parents. They're still alive and well, doing good.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're doing great. As a childless,
I don't think any one of us has a child actually.
As a childless individual, I feel very strong that being a parent is
responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think it's as difficult as some people make it out to be. Yeah, is it time consuming? Yeah. Is it a lot to take care of another person? Yeah, but I don't think it's as difficult as people want it to be seen as.
I disagree. I think parenting in general is just like difficult, and
I mean,
also...
it's the same. You're raising yourself right now. We're all adults. You know how difficult that is. It's the same thing, just plus one. It's like taking care of a pet, sort of. You got to do other things, but I mean,
I love that the analogy is like, oh yeah, I don't have a child, but I have a pet.
I don't have a pet. I've had pets. It's the same thing though. It's you have to do some extra steps. You got to make sure they're healthy, make sure they take proper shits. The poop looks.
I think that's a good point. But I think honestly, our big thing with parenting is the fact of the matter. Do we know? Let me rephrase. Let me just go back to the gist of this. What is is this a hot take, or is this you're willing to die on this?
Both.
Okay.
I've thought about it for years about having kids and everything, and observations I made with both how I've been raised, how my friends have been raised, how other people raise their kids, and all that stuff. And I'm like, there's a lot of common through lines in it. Yeah, it's tiring. I think that's the tough part, is that you just have to constantly be aware that there's a small thing that's walking around that requires extra help to survive, but and you got to make sure they grow up properly. But at the same time, it's like I don't think it's that difficult to just be live. I don't know, making sure they stay alive, and being consistent with your messaging. If you're honest with yourself and how you live, it can't be that difficult to make sure you project those onto a child properly. Obviously, they hit different stages of cognitive development, so you can't teach them like astrophysics at 3, or how war works and the intricacies of it at like 4 years old. But it's kind of like whatever they give to you, you can kind of bounce back at the same level of tone and intelligence of like, yeah, let's simplify this really quick for you. And just upfront honesty, I think, works best with a kid in terms of like teaching them stuff when they ask. I don't.
So, I'm and my thing is, I think it could look very simple, and I think some people don't have that capability of being able to just look at life and like, hey, it's something that you're supposed to do. It's something that you should care about. Some people just be like, yeah, that kid's here, but I'm still gonna live. I'm still like numero uno is me.
Yeah, I'm still.
Some people
technically, I have a kid I got to care for the weekend, and after that, it doesn't really matter.
And after that, it's like, exactly. Some people don't have that capability of saying, hey, this is.
And this kind of goes into my argument, and it's not a good argument or hill to have, but like, there's people like that, and there's plenty of kids that get to adulthood, and yeah, they have problems, but the kid's still alive and well. Or you have like single parents working 3 jobs and never see their kids, and yeah, that causes problems for the kids, but technically the kids can still grow up capable and accomplish a lot, and or also get therapy if they need it when they're older to help address some of those issues. And so raising a kid, no one can ever do it perfectly. You can't control some stuff, like, if they get into an accident in a sport and then they can never play the sport again, that's not really you as a bad parent, as now they just have to live with that. Like, some things you can't control, and yet most of the time kids will still grow up like any other normal individual with their own problems, their own experiences. And there's plenty of kids that kind of raise themselves from parents that just don't care, or are a bit abusive. And it's like, well, their parents are feeding them, and the kid still raises themselves. So,
but that goes back to like to where it's like you.
Is it right? No. Is it like tough? No. Like, I think the tough part is trying to raise an above average human.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's difficult to raise a kid.
I'm not gonna front. I don't think I can be on that hill with you on that one. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
I
Again, as an individual with
the,
no experience, for my perspective.
Exactly, and as another individual,
job. It's a 24-hour job. I acknowledge that, and I'm willing to change my opinion the instant the instant I hear that first scream.
You can't change your opinion if you're gonna die on the hill, because you be dead. You gotta die on the hill.
New life experiences. Right now, I'm willing to die on the hill. But when you hear that first scream in the ER room or whatever, it's like, from your child, it could be completely different at that point. Like, oh, this is gonna be this is gonna be a pain when they scream for 6 hours through the night. Yeah, but I think it's just more of a time investment and awareness. But plenty of adults choose not to acknowledge their kids or give them that kind of extra attention, and the kids still grow up and do well enough, or they become extremely rich, or politicians, or whatever people deem as successful. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit nuanced and tough to describe, but that's how I feel.
It's something that I could see, but it's also to where it's like, my view of that would be, I'd be willing to die on the hill of, some people don't need to be parents. Just simple as that. Some people do not need it. Some people, we should take their reproduction I'm just joking.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get into something.
Yeah, you're not going that far. But
well, I mean, at this point, the law is going to be like, anyone is probably going to reach that point where people could lose their reproductive rights.
All right, really quick, let me just add, when I have kids, I will be doing my best and hardest to raise them to be above average, kind, considered humans. I just think in general, it's not that difficult, or as difficult as a lot of people like to complain. Yeah, you have to take care of someone from life until basically you're dead or they die first. So it depends on how much investment you're wanting to put into it. But the general concept of it's not that difficult.
it's not. It's the general concept is not difficult, or it is difficult.
It isn't difficult to raise a child. If you want to put more effort into it, yeah, it will become more difficult. But to raise a child is not difficult.
Oh, I like that.
And I
Okay,
will
I
be
like
putting
that. I
in
like
as
that.
much effort as I can to raise proper human beings.
I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna raise my kid in the backyard with no house, no roof,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's cool.
like technically being a pet owner. Some people keep their dogs chained to a tree their whole life outside
Yep.
in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard, and
Yep.
like
Yep.
and
Yep.
others
Yeah.
give them a lot of attention, and it's like, well, this is a lot of work,
Exactly.
and both can say it's a
Yeah.
lot of work because they're like, I have to pay to feed it, but in general, it's not that difficult. I think to be a parent, what's difficult is people putting in extra effort. But that's why it's difficult. Is because it's not what's needed. It's not what's needed or required to raise that child. People want to do their best and invest into it.
Absolutely. But that's I like that one. I really liked it because that one made me think. That one really made me think.
Now, should
So
everyone
what
be a
about you,
parent?
Miles?
No, should everyone be a parent? Let's just go
Absolutely.
ahead and burn that bridge. No.
Yeah. No. No.
Should we
Yeah.
remove
That's
reproductive
that's an
organs?
easy.
You know, if we can come up with a good enough test or qualifier to validate it, maybe we'll have that discussion. In general, right now, we can't talk about that because that kind of goes against rights and ethics and all that stuff. And I don't think we should do it. Yeah, eugenics. I don't think we should do that yet. Asterisk.
Just yet.
Yet. Asterisk.
That'll be a later episode. We talk about eugenics and
that talks
sterilization.
Eugenics, sterilization, humanity at large, and everything. Yeah, that's a different topic. But I don't think everyone deserves to be a parent for sure. That's also a hill I'll die on. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I would love to meet somebody that thinks the opposite. Like everybody should be a parent. I'd be like, have you met some of these people in society?
Yeah, like you remember
need to be parent.
You remember Dave from high school? You think he deserves to have kids? Like
who?
I'm just giving an example. Like you remember
hypothetical.
Hypothetical person. I was like, wait a minute.
I don't even think we had a Dave in our class.
We didn't have a Dave.
We had Dave.
I think the only Dave I know is Chappelle.
We didn't have a Dave in our school.
Yeah, I don't think we had one person named Dave. But that's what I mean. Like you got that one coworker from that one part-time job in high school. We're like, oh man, this dude can barely tie his own shoes, and he's supposed to teach someone else how to put on socks.
Yeah. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need a class.
Again, reproducing's not difficult. Feeding something is not difficult. It's natural.
And that's honestly, that'll be just thinking about that though. Now it's like, how do we tell people? Be like, listen, I appreciate everything you did, but you probably can be a shitty ass parent.
You need to keep that zipped up and keep the belt tight.
Yeah, like you need to. Yeah, like listen, I understand you can get these girls, but they don't understand you have issues. And girl, I understand you can get these guys, but they don't understand that you don't like talking to people, and you need to talk to people to get through life.
Yeah.
All right. Ari, do you have another hot take, or Miles, you got a hot take?
I do actually.
All right.
So simping. There we go.
All right,
simping.
now.
Yes,
All
no,
right.
maybe so.
Absolutely not. But
I will simp. I will simp for my. I will simp for my partner any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I simp for mine too.
I will die on this hill that
really
not be.
It should be outlawed.
Allowed. It should be not allowed in public.
Oh. Well.
And public. I think exactly. That's what I'm willing to die on.
So the only way it wouldn't be in public is if it's a private encounter, aka like I guess private messages or in person, like I'm
saying simping on both sides, women, men. I want no simping whatsoever in public.
I just sent my girlfriend. I just sent my girlfriend a text. Simping in public, yes or no?
Yeah.
Shoot, that's a good question. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I think I'm willing to down that.
Obviously, that applies to like social media and like streaming and stuff like that too. Obviously, because those are public forums, right? Right.
So wait,
you think it shouldn't be allowed there either?
So let's just like get it out of the way first. Like, and what's your point of view of like simping in general? Like what should we define it also? Like.
We can. We totally can. The thing for me is saying
It's the
I
opposite of
understand
pimping.
how
It's the opposite of pimping.
it's the opposite. It's the opposite. 100% the opposite of pimping. But it's
Okay.
doing something in my eyes. Doing something that you
Mm.
wouldn't do for someone else outside of the realm of you're attracted to this person or you want to reproduce with this person. That's what I think should not be displayed in public on either male or female side, because that's something that should not be a display. That should be something that you keep behind closed doors, especially if you already have your person.
All right, my
Some
girlfriend
people
says yes. Simping in
simping in
public should
public.
be yes.
I think it should be outlawed. I will speak to my congressman about how we can get this banned. Because
I
honestly,
want to
I
see
don't.
a leash
I
on
just
you in public or a collar on you in public, Nelson. Shit.
You see me
Ari.
with like a
Ari.
leash.
Yeah.
And that's something to where it's like I think we really, but that's something to where I think it also leads to some people's sexuality, and I don't think sexuality should be seen in public, because some people it's like, yeah, my love language is this. Okay, cool, your love language is this, but that love language should be displayed to your significant other in private. And that's the only
I
reason
feel like
I
that goes along the lines of PDA in public.
100%, 100%. Yeah. Some people be like, listen, I don't want PDA. I don't even care if it's PDA between a baby and a mom. I don't want to see it. But that's
Get those hips off that tit. I don't want to see it.
That's
I want to see it.
disgusting.
That's disgusting. I can't believe that
How
baby is
dare
sucking around
you?
my
How
mouth.
dare
I
you,
mean,
small infant?
like,
You small
like
infant.
how?
All right, so I
you
think
know,
it just like goes to like the definition, because like my girlfriend said, being kind and mannerly towards women is branding as simping by
okay.
some men.
Oh, I love that she said that. Now, I think chivalry should be what we define as not simping.
Well,
We
where
need to
crosses the
we
Yeah,
line? Where does
yeah.
that line get
that
crossed?
and that's a good question. That's a good question. Now, are you only chivalrous to the people you want to sleep with? I think that's defined
Mm,
as simping. That's where it's like, if you're gonna open the door for one woman, I think you should be opening the door for many women, because that's what you're supposed to do as a man in our society. However we deem that. That's what I believe, that we shouldn't be simping in public, because it's like it's only saying I'm only doing this because I'm attracted to you.
right.
And I think that's an issue. I think that's something that a lot of guys can be like, well, I wanted to do this because I like her. Like, okay, cool, man, do what you got to do. But the hardest thing is saying, hey, I only do this because to attractive women, and I think that should be
Mhm.
outlawed.
My
Because it also
my
should.
I've always like pictured like simping as like being like all nice and cuddly with your partner, and being like oh, my sugar plum, and then like giving like little kisses and all of that. That's my point of view. And I feel like if you're doing that in public, I mean, that's kind of iffy, It's just I don't
100%.
think that should be, you know, really done. That's more like a private thing, you know.
Exactly, and that's where I believe I'm willing to down simping should not be allowed in public, but it's also simping is still a slang term that it's not really defined as
Also, what's wrong
something.
with like displaying affection anyways? Like I feel
There's
like
nothing wrong with displaying affection. No, nothing. But the big but, here's the but.
what's that?
Your version of displaying affection. Ooh, I don't know how this is gonna sound, but it's gonna come out, and I'm
Ooh.
gonna say it. I'm just gonna simplify. Your way of showing affection
Hmm.
might be detrimental to another person's way of showing affection. To where it's like, oh, why don't you show affection to me like that?
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, it and this is where it's like, you know what, I might be grasping at straws on this one, but
Hmm.
I really believe that we should not show our way of affection
And
in front of
yeah,
others.
my girlfriend, I'm just like texting her right now, and like my
Uh huh.
girlfriend says like, she brings up the point like, why is it that like being rude and acting like a dick in public is acceptable, but like being affectionate crosses the line, like
Oh, good point. Great point.
yeah. And there's also like levels to like PDA, too.
Why isn't she here?
I know.
Yeah,
get another perspective on simping, an actual female perspective. Oh, there you go. Special guest for discussing dating.
Yeah.
Can we how about we bring in first let's bring in a definition of simping, because I'm not gonna front.
Didn't we
I
already
think
do
it's
that?
just I don't think so. I don't think if we actually like Urban Dictionary says or Dictionary.com says is this. I don't think we've done that yet.
Urban Dictionary has something. It always does.
Which
I love it. She's like, honestly, why aren't I there at the podcast right now? My cheeky banter is top of the line. All right, cool.
all right,
yeah, tell her we weren't expecting to be talking about simping in this exactly, but
yeah, we really didn't. But this is a hill that
we'll do a follow-up
her
on
boyfriend,
simping.
her boyfriend was willing to die on. So
he refuses to show any type of affection or care towards her in public. No, he agrees with it. You disagree with it. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he agrees with it. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and ask this question.
What a simp move. He agrees with being a simp.
Yeah, that's such a simp move. 100%. Yeah, super simp.
Clear simp. So,
but it's still to where it's like the question is, do we say, do we need to say that, hey, this is something that we should agree upon? We should say, I think that simping should be something completely banned. And honestly, let me just look up simp. Oh, here it is. Boom. Already. Yeah. When
Urban
you
Dictionary.
in fact, 100%. When you infatuate over women, allowing them to take over your mind. Oh, I'm out here reading like a pastor, and cause you to do things for them that you wouldn't normally do. Mm-hmm. Go on.
Preach.
Preach, and this right here, and the example is, friend, I'm gonna have to leave this game. I want to see what Annie is doing right now. The boys, you simping, bro. Ooh, come on now. You simping. See, right there, something. I think that's kind of making the point right there. That something you wouldn't do for a girl only because you're attracted to that person. And I think simping should be outlawed in public. That right there is like, oh yeah, dang, she fine as to be. I'm gonna go buy her a drink.
Yeah, bro, that is the same thing right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think we should not allow. We should be saying, hey, simping is not beneficial. But also the question is, would we have the society that we have now if it wasn't for simps? And will we and is that better for us to have that in the future?
Does that go against human nature?
Yes, that's the question I'm asking, because it's like, ooh, do we need simps? I think we do. I think for society to stay at the pace that we are, we need people to be like, we need people to court their women, but it's not, and women court their men too, and it's not one way or the other. But it shouldn't be. It's not. And I kind of that's
right.
Such a. I know I'm trying. I gotta say it right too.
All women are the worst. I'll say it for you. I'll just say it for you. They don't deserve the attention. That's what you're trying to say, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right, well, that's the extreme. So say anything less than that. Yeah.
So like I sent that definition over to my girlfriend. Is like, isn't that literally the definition of liking someone romantically?
And that's where it's like, I think the best thing is to where it's like, hi, I find you attractive, and I think I would like to take you out on a date.
Well, no.
Move it away.
That is different than what people do on like the internet for like, say, Twitch streamers or something, where they donate $100 because it's like, you look like you're having a bad day. Here's $100. And it's one thing if it is like a one-off thing and you just have that money and you're like, yeah, you're really entertaining to me. It's another when it's like suspicious ulterior motives where it's like they keep doing it every day or try to privately message them to get attention.
Yeah,
that's where the simping thing comes from.
So follow-up question, and then this is like geared towards Miles a little bit. But do you think that like OnlyFans is simping?
Absolutely. What? Without question, the biggest version of simping on this planet.
So
other than what the strip club used to actually, let me phrase it: the strip club for what people don't use it for, which most people use it for, uh, money laundering. But that's different. I think that OnlyFans is a very is a great version of what simping really means. Is to give people money and time that you wouldn't because you have a. And the big thing about simping definitions based on Urban Dictionary is that infatuation or when you infatuate over women. When you that's the big thing. If you ain't got if you're just like I'm just here to look at what you're offering. Cool. That's I don't think that's simping. But when you're like I only want her to look how fine she is. When you're addicted to somebody or you're obsessed, I think that's where the problem is. And I don't think that should be allowed in
To be
public.
fair,
Period.
OnlyFans did not launch exclusively as what it's known as currently, but which is just more of a safe place for adult entertainers. Let's put it that way, because there are plenty of people that use OnlyFans for actual, like, let's say Patreon stuff, like behind the scenes, like things where it's not adult entertainment. But because of what it has become, it is seen primarily as that, which, in fairness, is to be true. That's where a lot of the money comes in from. So. But you have plenty of like A-list celebrities that are on there that don't do anything like that. But that still does fall under simping if people fall for things like that to get based on their motives. Again,
Yeah.
the motives
And
of
that's
OnlyFans was not that. Let me just put it that way. However, that is what OnlyFans has become in the public eye. So.
Yeah. I think that's but also here, and this is where I have to throw this out. OnlyFans is still private. I think there should be a safe space for people to be able to do what they want to do in the privacy of their own home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just like before OnlyFans, the only place you really could be simping like that, it would be one of the hubs, one of the sex hubs.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay, it's still in the privacy of their own home. So I think it's still it's still acceptable. But the thing is, in public, if you see somebody that's like, I'm only gonna wear shirts with this girl on it, you gotta issue. And honestly, I think it's something that could be deemed medical. You gotta be medical.
I was gonna ask you, Miles, like, do you ever see yourself using OnlyFans?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Certain conditions are met, but
there's no way in the world you can see me on the OnlyFans. I have friends that have OnlyFans, and I'm still not on there.
We have classmates that have like OnlyFans.
Old classmates. Let's get it straight. People we knew a while ago.
Yeah, in high school.
Not like current classmates.
Yeah, I got classmates in college right now out here struggling.
Well, actually, I would say I know some law students with OnlyFans too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at them. I would not be mad at them. But I think that honestly, and it goes back to I know where I can get what I want. So I don't have it.
Okay, Alpha Chad.
It's not even like trying to be alpha. Like I know I can type in this website to get free versions.
So you mean entertainment for yourself, not gotcha.
Yes.
Not like getting the women that the simps are trying to get. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was going for. I'm not the. But I and also
you said that you say that like OnlyFans is simping in a way.
I think OnlyFans is a way of simping, but it's not the public version of simping. It's not doing it out in the streets that everyone else will be like, yeah, you see what this man's doing, man, why don't you do that to me? I think that's something to where that validation to someone just because you're sexually attracted or you find them appealing is unnecessary.
Because, like, my question would be, like, are you simping for, like, Jeff Bezos if you're, like, ordering an umbrella on Amazon, for instance? Like, I feel like OnlyFans is, like, a marketplace.
Why are people getting way too specific and, like, trying to apply it to everything in that case? That's just a product and a service. You're not buying it from Jeff Bezos directly because he's there holding an umbrella. I mean, that is a marketing thing for any public entity, but that's not simping. They're just buying an umbrella with a service he made.
So the question of that would be, what's the difference between product and what's the word I'm
Branding.
looking for? Yeah, what's the point of branding, but also marketing yourself as,
Public figures,
I don't know, like
public figures
celebrities,
brand
like
themselves as the product. That's how that works.
exactly, yeah.
They have a personal life, but when they're out in public and stuff, they are the product. The aura and the essence of them is what they are selling, and people want to capture that because others are interested in the brand, aka them. So that's how that works.
Sorry about that, folks. I think my computer had an issue and had to restart, so now I'm like for my phone right now.
Oh, you're good. We can still hear you.
Yeah, you sound like you never left.
All right. Well, now that we got that straightened out, yeah, we'll save the simping discussion for another future episode we have planned. We got some individuals in the group that definitely have some strong opinions about it. Also, I know
and maybe
they'll
some
get brought
special
up.
guests. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got some special guests that may be willing to talk from a different perspective. We'll see.
Absolutely.
You guys have any other hot takes or hills to die on? Like, I know we briefly discussed sleeping with socks on before the recording, and Miles, you mentioned you don't want to sleep with socks on or sleep naked.
I can't sleep. I think however people sleep is their preference. Like for me, I can't sleep without my boxers or my shorts on, because if someone breaks in, like, I can't be fighting somebody with my Johnson on. I can't be like my Johnson is swinging and my arm swinging, and they.
You don't want,
I just said no.
You don't want that Slim Jim hanging out as a third arm.
I don't.
You should assert dominance, like that is your place, and yeah.
Yeah, but if the second they grab anything down there, I'm screaming like a little girl.
Yeah,
dominance is out the way.
Just bruise their kneecap with it. Just keep swinging it while you're rotating.
Yeah, Do you understand? I can't even do jumping jacks without my boxes on. You understand how painful?
Have you ever done? It sounds like you have. Ari, have you ever done jumping jacks or anything like that without boxers on or going commando?
I hate to admit it, but yeah,
it is.
It's frustrating. It's like, this is painful.
Man, I'm getting bruised myself just with it slapping everywhere.
Imagine being like, having to be a woman with big breasts and you're out jogging and it just goes up and down.
Yeah. Oh, see, and that's where I'm like, that's true. That's something that girls got to deal with.
Oh, there's a hot take right there. Well, I guess two.
What's that?
Personally, I don't find massive badonkadonks attractive. But that's just a personal opinion.
Badonkadonks? Wait.
So are you a breast guy?
Wait, he said massive badonkadonks?
Yeah,
badonkadonks. Badonkadonk is the rear.
Yeah.
Badonkadonks?
Yeah, I thought.
Are you talking about the bosom?
I thought that was just a casual term for boobies.
Oh no, badonkadonks is booty cheeks.
No, yeah, man. Okay.
She got that badonkadonk.
I just thought anything like that with a B sound where it's just funny and silly and exaggerated was to describe breast. So.
Gotcha.
Badonkadongalos is like boobs, like massive humongalongalos, like that one. Yeah, I don't find that attractive. I think that's just I'm not saying the women can control that. It's one thing if they get plastic surgery for that. That's
so
just not
on the record, you're an ass man, huh?
I guess between the two, yes, but I'm a proportions guy. As long as they look healthy, I don't care about the shape. As long as they're
I think that
because everyone's got a different body frame and shape and whatnot. So as long as it's healthy looking and proportionally accurate, you can't control some things with how broad your shoulders are or whatever, or what kind of breasts you get. That's not really something you can control growing up. So,
100%. I think that. Oh man, I'm willing to die on that. People that get beyond crazy surgeries to look ridiculous should have to pay.
But at one point you don't even look natural anymore.
That's what I mean. Would you want to look a healthy natural figure? I don't care if you're overweight or anything. I just like a natural figure. I don't, and again, but of a natural figure, people that have massive, let's say, J shape, cup size, breast and whatnot. definitely that I don't find attractive. But some people glorify it, and that's just not for me. But that's a subjective.
And some people do, and I think that the people that do that need to pay more in taxes.
That's more.
So
real
Miles,
estate.
on the record, are you an S man? Are you an S man? Yeah.
I 100% am. I am. If you got some cheeks in the back end, we been best friends.
Well, I mean, more than best friends, right?
No, I can't. Listen, I gotta have friends. You know, I ain't gonna sell to. There's too many women out here. I'm trying to meet you all. Let's have a great conversation. And I'm not simping. That's back thing. Let's back it up. I'm not simping for them, but
takes the whole episode talking about simping and then starts
simping for exactly.
But there are some certain women that are like, hey,
yeah, let's talk. Let's have a great discussion in the privacy of our own home.
Soup. Kidding.
No, but that, honestly, yeah, I'm definitely nasty. But it's like, I'm still,
I love that. Just
straight,
all right.
Straight, no, can't even sugarcoat it. But no, it's like I think
muffled.
I feel like boob
Speak
dudes
up, son.
are. I feel like boob dudes are. They're a different breed of guys. I don't think I've ever met a dude to where it's like I'd rather have a flat behind girl and have some huge titties. Look me in my face.
I know some men that are like that.
I know some you know some men.
Yeah, they prefer a woman. They prefer a woman shaped like that.
Aren't they weird?
I think they're. I think they're weird.
Way to be like stereotyping or like judgmental, Ari. Like,
I'm 100%.
Why would they be 100%. Weird just because they like something different from you?
I want.
What if they like? What if they like someone else?
We're gonna stereotype on this podcast, okay?
I have to. Yeah, I'm not even.
It's unfiltered for a reason. Just say whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not bullying. I'm not trying to pick on you. I just want to know
what they look like.
What they look like, so I can then stereotype because I haven't met them yet. I want to meet them first. Well, that's honestly, I
want to have evidence for what I'm about to say. Yeah.
I want to have an actual good scientific study on what y'all look like, because a lot of y'all just be like, wow, if you like boobs, big boobs, 100%. But if you saying I'm willing to sacrifice all the behind in the world to have everybody have some boobs, I'll be like, I don't think you understand.
That is a hill to die on. That's a hill to die on for sure. Those people.
Yeah, but that's where it's like, it's oh my god, it's like what's the point? Like, you want a girl that every time she sits down she hurts her tailbone? Like what?
Or they all have back problems in the future. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh, out here you can't even just fall on the floor. You gonna break something. Like but if they fall forward, they good. Like that's like is that? I just want to meet guys that are like. I would love to meet guys that are like that. Only like that to where it's like if she got a derriere bigger than this, I can't touch her. Like wow, okay. I want to meet somebody on that extreme and be like, yeah, I need to see what y'all look like. But it's not something against them. It's just, you know what? I understand the scientific, the reasons why women have boobs, but I don't know why the reason a lot of women have huge boobs. But it's like, it's still a plus. And also, a lot of girls' boobs grow when they have children. Well, so it's like,
that's a hormonal thing, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I can sacrifice, but listen, that derriere, it's like, listen, I don't know if her mom was feeding the cornbread or giving her all the milkshake. I appreciate it.
That's something that bring all the boys to the yard. They're like,
she definitely got it from her mom.
But yeah, that's where it's like, if this podcast brings us to meet more people, I want to meet y'all. I really want to meet y'all.
I want to meet your cornbread-fed children.
Should we just like ask publicly, like, if you're like a tits guy send an email to unfilteredpineapplepodcast@gmail.com.
Unfilteredpineapple@gmail.com. Yeah.
Unfiltered pineapple, excuse me, @gmail.com.
And
We want to hear from you.
We want to, and that's what we can do a poll or something to where it's just like yes. And then also, I want to see the credit score of all y'all that like tits or ass. I just want. I want to see the...
We need to make a study.
We gotta connect the
scientific
study.
study.
We gotta connect it to any potential simping.
Exactly. But that honestly, that's something to where that's just seeing what the society really looks like. Because there ain't no in the world. I'd pick boobs over the other. That's But yeah. You got one for the ass on the ass team. That's me.
Well, okay, yeah, I kind of forgot what my original other hill I was going to talk about was because of that. So,
same. I forgot what I was going to say too. I was like,
very invested in Miles's opinion there and descriptions. So, Ari, you had, I think, one more hot take, or we have definitely time for one more. I think. If you don't have it, then I got an idea.
I have a couple more, but like
we
like...
definitely got plenty of other people. We'll have
the whole roster.
This will come back. This topic in episode.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's definitely plenty to talk about.
Well, since Miles is still here, like I feel like we should talk about like like white women.
All right, way to profile.
All right. So that's an interesting topic. All right. So,
just for disclosure, I'm Hispanic, Miles is black, and Dean is white. So,
yeah, we've already had Noodles call himself Latino also. So,
yeah.
There's a mix of us here.
So I'm not the Dr. Umar black. I just want to know for people that might be asking. I'm not one of those black dudes.
Takes, Dr. Umar, about white women?
Yeah, out here, you gonna out here mess around with these snow bunnies? No, no, but honestly, it's like
I have a bad stereotype.
No, go ahead.
And I'm a little scared to share it actually.
Say it.
It's pretty bad.
Say it.
It's a safe, unfiltered section.
Say it.
All right, so white women are a little bit more like unhygienic compared to others.
Oh, how dare you!
Scandalous. This is why this is why you've never dated a white woman.
This is unfiltered pineapple at its best.
That's a hill you're willing to die on. Is that the white race?
They don't
less
shower
hygienic than all the other females.
They don't even know what a washcloth is. That's what you're saying, Art?
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
They don't know what ashy is.
That's true. Honestly, some people don't.
Yeah, that is true.
I've heard this a lot from other people in particular, and I kind of agree with like some of the generalizations, but also I do understand like it's just a generalization. It's not like it's a stereotype. Like there's people out there that do not follow stereotypes. So and that's just my disclaimer. That's my disclaimer. But the general trend is that
don't save yourself now. Die on that hill.
I know. Yeah, down that hill.
I don't want to be killed on the hill.
Yeah.
Look, you're already in a relationship.
The whole point of dying.
You're fine. Just don't leave that relationship. Good. Just don't ever leave it.
You're not in a relationship with a white woman, are you?
No.
Okay.
So
just don't leave that relationship, and you're fine. So.
Exactly, because you come out in these imaginary streets, it was over for you.
I'm gonna set it up as your voicemail call. That clip.
But honestly,
okay, so like unhygienic in terms of like
give context. To this.
Unhygienic in terms of like they don't like ever like wash like their legs or down there.
Yeah, you're afraid. You're afraid to say genital area, like.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't ever watch their vulva, or is what he's saying.
What the world? All right, so
a lot of the complaints, from guys also are that like white women like smell down there too.
I think that's just
So
that is that can apply to any
teachings.
woman. That's not
That could,
specific
yeah,
white
yeah.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
There
these
are
are
plenty of
generalizations.
people from college, plenty of female friends I have and had, or throughout my various years in dorms, hallmates that said that, like, yeah, my roommate smells really bad, or stuff like that. And I'm like, nothing you would know because you don't room with them or live with them, but plenty of female friends are like, yeah, they were like, yeah, we had one dorm mate or something like that. That was just like really bad, and they weren't white, or some of them were white. I've never heard it specifically for white women.
So the question would be for me is with white women, and I'm gonna say white women.
White.
White. With white women, like what's like for me, it's I don't see Dang, that's a good question. So what's the hill you went down? Let's just start with that. It's just them being unclean
They're
because
less
then
hygienic
Okay,
in
no.
general,
I think
or they smell.
I think in general it's just like the thing is like white women are just like plain and just like
Oh, okay,
I don't
that's
know.
another hill.
Yeah.
wow, he got all the hills. All the hills white women.
Basically, if you're a white woman, Ari doesn't want anything to do with you physically.
I don't want a single thing to do with you. Your parents
He
raised
is
you
such a
That's what he
simp
just
for
said.
his girlfriend. You can't even.
Great job.
You're
Oh
doing
my
a
god,
good
now I
job. You're
realize.
doing a
Oh
great
yeah,
job.
he's
Yeah.
a winning.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
winning
god.
in this
Just
world.
get rid of all other options so that you are only focused on your current girlfriend.
That
There you
is
go.
a very so. Oh man. Oh man.
Burn all
I don't
those
know how to.
bridges.
I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how.
Even Miles is like, I'm not going there.
Yeah, it's not that I'm not going there. It's more just like I don't know where I could go with that because it's
Okay,
like I don't
I
have
just-
that much
how about this?
experience.
Like,
I'll respond.
Have you dated white women?
All right, so
Miles?
man, this gonna sound bad. This gonna sound bad.
Oh, there we go.
The only white woman I've ever dated was for a dare. So
Ooh.
yeah, so
Wait,
that's
why would
where
you date someone on a dare?
it was $20. $20. All right,
We're
in high school.
Man makes his money.
We were in
Don't
high
ask.
school. Yeah, we were in high school. All right, it's $20. But so I don't have that much experience. So I'm willing to admit it, but there 100% is a stereotype with white women, and the thing is, I think that there's not a how am I going to say this? There's not a variety of parenting styles with white girls.
Ooh. I think I know where you're going. Yeah.
I think that they kind of fit the same mold because they're pretty much raised the same.
Damn.
Well, is that not like similar to other cultures?
I think other cultures, they definitely have more of a broad spectrum of how they raise the parent. I mean, how parents raise them.
The society raises a parent. You gotta make sure your kids are like this. All right.
Yeah, but also, it's like because this is a predominantly white society, most of the role models are going to be the same role models across the board. In other cultures, you're not going to have that, especially in America. So it's like a black family. Let's say a black family. All right, like kids, what's your role model? Black Panther. Yeah, but he's fake. Kids, white family. Who's your kid's role model? Oh, they love watching what's his name off the news. It's like yeah, yeah, because he's real. It looks more on like the cookie cutter effect, and also everyone trying to fit in with the Joneses, right. And that more fits in with a lot of white communities, especially.
I'm gonna butt in here. I'm gonna just completely disagree with that hill. I'm gonna dig the trench.
Right.
I'm gonna dig it deeper for him, but I just completely disagree with that stereotype entirely for reasons I already gave, and yeah. If that's your own personal experience, then that's just coincidental. I feel
it's very limited.
It's very limited. Yeah. Well, you and for Ari, for both of you, I I just don't agree with it. From my own experiences and what I've heard from other individuals, I don't. I think that's just a more general application of women in general, and women are that like.
But let me also explain.
Yeah.
But let me also explain. Being in another country, white girls are different.
Yeah,
that's what
they are,
and that's where it's like
that's just an American thing.
Yeah,
then.
That's just a cultural thing.
And that's why I said that in America it looks more it's a more cookie cutter.
Do you think do you think the same effect is in like Canada, for instance? Like, do you think maybe that would be the same in Canada, or is it just an American thing?
It's a good point, but also knowing that Canada is also more bilingual with the Europeans up there.
Not really.
So I think it's different because I've met more Canadians that spoke what's it called that
French.
What's it? That French, yeah, exactly. That spoke French, and I'm like, I said that, yeah, because I didn't know what it was. I was like, it was, but they spoke French, and I'm just like, yeah, y'all have something else to y'all that's different. Then I would look at another white girl that went to Texas Christian University, and I'd be like, yeah, girl, you're just another Texas girl to me. So you see that it, and this is coming from a black dude. This coming from a black dude that's been to different countries, but also been to multiple states in the United States. And I'm just like, yeah, most of y'all girls, especially Tennessee girls, is all Taylor Swift. It just feels like Taylor Swift everywhere.
You got it.
Taylor Swift and Degrassi.
Tennessee, just the Tennessee arc just continues.
You love
with
Tennessee.
Miles.
God, I dislike Tennessee. Let's just say that. Oh, Tennessee it was very interesting the first time I went. I definitely got to go back.
Oh,
but yeah, nah.
Ooh, I guess that's one more hot take, and that's a little bit political, and then we got to wrap it up at that point.
Man, we got there's so many hot.
I told you, there's a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's just general. Like I like olives,
sometimes
not
it's like
does.
general racism.
Yeah, we'll just bring out bring out all the phobias or discriminatory
stereotypes.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I think that
I'm not going to touch on that topic. We'll save it for another episode. That's going to be a long discussion.
Wait, what now?
No. Well, a totally different episode. No, because it's going to get way too long, and we're already pressing the limits.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this conversation.
You guys, we'll finish off with a couple. Finish off with a couple quick ones, whether it's like food or something. What's something you think? Like you already said, you side with pineapple on pizza. What else you got, Miles? Just a quickie. Take a stance.
Probably. All right. Pork should be banned.
I agree.
Ooh.
Until we can scientifically say that. So we all know there's a negative connotation between pork.
Yeah,
and we should be able
to with science and health as well as like some religions, you can't have it at all.
Exactly, and I think that we should first be able to say, because it's the first
chicken's worse though.
Well, you got to think about it. For what I understand, people didn't like pork because of Christianity and religion and Muslim, and to where it's like all things should be to where it's like the reason pork is this, the reason we shouldn't have like crawfish and all this type of stuff. Can we factually say, all right, this is something that we should actually do for the betterment of the next generation? To where it's like this should be something we eliminate. And if people can say yes, or some people can say no, we should be able to just make that decision.
What's wrong with pork?
Pork is apparently a filthy animal, apparently. And they said it has worms.
So are chickens. Chickens are even worse.
100%, but they said pigs will eat their own feces. Chickens most likely won't. But they will eat anything that's given to them in captivity. So will pigs. Cows, you can't just give them a raw piece of steak, and they're gonna look at it and be like, "Listen, I only eat hay, my man." So that's where it's like, is there a way for us to 100% figure that out? And while we're figuring that out, we should just be like, all right, we're not going to eat stuff that has been deemed or speculated to be bad for us. That's what the hell I'm willing down.
Okay. Ari, quickie.
Budget airlines aren't. Oh, or this?
What?
I don't know. What, you want me to respond to the pork thing, or do you
No,
want me
no,
to
no.
come up with
Oh
a?
no,
No.
yeah, hot
Give
take.
give a
Any
quick
hot take or
give a quickie.
Yeah. So, budget airlines aren't actually terrible. They're actually fine.
Yeah,
what do you mean
there's not.
budget? I gotta sit up for this one. What
Well,
do you mean?
Spirit.
you should definitely
Spirit's
get
not
Anthony.
bad.
You should get Anthony on this one, but
Okay. Spirit
Well, not
Airline is
Spirit,
not
but
that bad.
like let's say like Breeze or like another budget airline. They're not bad. They get you there. I mean, like it's like expecting like, all right, you're not gonna get like free, food or drinks or whatever, from a budget airline. You're just expecting to go to the place where you want to go to,
it's like taking a
and
taxi.
people just, yeah,
Air taxi.
I like that.
and
I like that.
and like no, just think about it too. It's like airlines nowadays charge for like carry-ons and stuff, and budget airlines charge for like usually you get like one free carry-on or whatever, but they charge for that. But like that makes sense because like you're getting like you're getting like a lower cost travel, so you shouldn't expect a lot.
As long as the job gets done, you're getting what you pay for usually in the end. Anything extra, you should be paying extra for, which is usually how it works, like the luxury and whatnot. But if you want the job done, then pay for it, and they're giving you the cost of what it costs to get there. And it may not be the best experience, but you're not paying for the best experience. You're paying for the cheapest experience to get the service that you request.
It's like going to McDonald's, It's just
what you're getting at McDonald's. You're not getting a Michelin star 13-course meal.
Their ice cream machines down,
for for scandalous reasons. Yeah, it's
and that's where it's like,
all right.
It's not that bad. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I got one. I don't know if this counts as a hot take. This is definitely it does. It's in a personal opinion. I think and appreciate and like the view of like a bridge and giant pieces
I thought you were about to end it right there.
And that's the end of the recording. That's the end of the recording. Yeah, done episode.
You love Whoopi?
I like the sight of a bridge or something like that, or arcing over, or like let's say a naval base on the other, like way in the distance. Like we're in the Hampton Roads area. You know what I'm talking about, Miles. I like the view of that stuff more than just open water or a beach without anything like that. I love pure nature and stuff, but if I have to like stare at the ocean or something like that, like I admire and am in awe at the sight of a bridge more than just like the water. Seeing the water and the beaches and stuff does absolutely nothing for me. I hate the beach. That's one thing. But if I see like a bridge or massive architectural feats, I just love looking at that, and I could have a house that looks at a bridge in a distance much more than I could have a house that just looks at the open ocean. I'll just say that.
That's just a weird take, bro.
No, that's a
that's
a hell of a
here's my question: Have you ever asked why? Is it the growth of society?
Oh yeah, it's a mix of that kind of stuff. Like look at this feat of engineering.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Look at the detail
I agree.
and the preparation, and like this, it's a magnificent piece of art. It's like looking at a mountain range and that stuff, and just appreciating the glory and the magnitude of everything on Earth that had to make that mountain range happen. I love nature. I love looking at that stuff. Everyone who hasn't heard it should go listen to our state tier list episode. We bring up nature quite a lot in that. That's a good video. We'll link it. But yeah, I love nature, but I'm not a fan of the ocean. I'm not a fan of looking at the water. I love being in water. I'm a great swimmer and everything too, but I do not like the view of the water or the beach or looking out on it or anything like that. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, but you hate the beach.
Yeah, exactly. But even if I'm like flying and I see like all this infrastructure and like bridge over the water, I'm like, that is beautiful to look at. And I don't think staring at the ocean is beautiful. Everyone's different. It's not calming to me. It's not soothing. I'm not afraid of it. It's just not appealing to me. I like the sight of a bridge or a city more than I like just a flat piece of ocean or land or something like that.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I respect that. I don't know who would oppose you to say like, no, I only like nature. I want to be in the middle of the
some people
woods.
like if they get a waterfront property, they don't want to see a bridge or they don't want to see construction or a city on the other side. I'm fine with that. I like seeing it. One, civilization, And I don't have a problem with camping. It's just, and then two, it's like look at the feats of engineering where we have progressed. So it is another shorthand way for me to describe it. Other people, like some relatives I have, they don't want to see anything like that. They just want untouched nature. They don't like the sight of infrastructure and anything like that. And I don't like side effects of it, like smog and musts and, the smoke and all that stuff, or the hustle and bustle, but I like the view of it.
Well, Dean, I completely disagree with you. You're wrong on this, and you should die on that hill.
Yeah, that's fine. I've said it for years. I'll die on that hill. I will prefer the sight of a bridge any day.
I can't be mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I can't.
Nature. Do not build bridges.
Yeah, like Anthony's old apartment. Anthony's old apartment. I love that. He's like, yeah, I like looking at the water in this direction. I don't like looking over here because you see all the traffic and stuff. I'm like, I like looking at that angle. I like seeing it. So
I think the same people that like that, like people watching, and I think I'm in that same boat to where it's like sometimes I just feel like I'll go to the mall and be like, I'm not gonna buy anything, but I just like look at people, be like, look at this one, look at this person.
Yeah, there's some activity there, and it's serene just to watch it and not be engaged in it or something like that. Rather than some people like the opposite, they just want absolutely nothing going on. It's like I'm alone with my thoughts. I'm always alone with my thoughts. Sometimes I just want to watch something and not think about it.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand.
I respect it.
I'm not saying it's a super hot take, but that's definitely a hill I'll stand on. Is the sight of a bridge is more beautiful to me than the sight of just open water. So
I respect it.
All right.
I like that.
I think with that we'll come to a close for this episode. Definitely ran a bit long, and there's definitely a lot more stuff I know other people want to say. So
next time.
Yeah,
very controversial.
Feel free for you YouTube listeners, add a comment, let us know what stances you have or what you like and don't like. We may react to them in the future if it's something we haven't heard before. Follow us on our socials. Do you fellow simps have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, for the people who like breasts and not ass, like send us an email. Again, like unfilteredpineapple@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. And after you send that email, send your credit score.
Or females.
Send a picture.
Females that have perspective on simping or things like that. Feel free to give your input. Definitely 3 guys here don't have the full perspective.
Sipping in public.
Yeah. Other than that, we'll catch everyone in the next episode. Thanks again for joining.
Thanks for watching.
Later.
Bye.